Hey, Las Vegas. Thanks for joining us back on Vegas Realty Check, your local Las Vegas real estate news show. I am Trish Williams.
And I'm Tiana Carroll. Welcome back to the show.
Yes.
And I hope everybody in Vegas is staying cool in our big heat wave that we're having.
Oh my gosh. I seen a text message thread or whatever that was like kind of spreading around social media.
Yeah.
It said, how's the weather in Vegas? And the response is, have you ever been cremated? So true.
Luckily, knock on, I don't have any wood here, but there has not been wind. When we get these like over 110 degree days in the wind, it feels like a blow dryer. It's harsh.
It is so harsh. And so a little bit of things going on. We're a few minutes late today because
nobody knows. Shh, don't tell them. Don't tell them.
I'm just saying, traffic, guys, please. There's been so many like deadly accidents and things happening. People, can you please? 2 car accidents on the way here, and I'm like. Is it the heat? Are people like trying to drive fast and get where they're going because of the heat, or does it have people delirious? What is happening?
Yeah, well, I think there's like an added layer of expediting quickly because of the heat. When people leave the house, they don't want to be out in the heat and they just want to get to where they're going and do what they're doing. I think they're irritable. Most people, I think, are irritable in the heat. I'm not. I love the heat. Yeah. I'd rather be in the hot than the cold for sure.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous. Take your time to get where you're going. If you're 3 minutes late like we are today, it's fine. Okay. The world will go on.
The world will go on.
Yeah, but don't stop driving crazy, people.
And also, there's been so many like breakdowns and stuff because of the heat that's going on.
Yeah. That's it doesn't do well for those
tire
engines.
Explosions.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting a lot of those. I saw a couple of those, like I'm sure on the freeway, because if you came up the 215, you probably had to dodge some rubber in the road.
I didn't come up the 215, but I do. I have seen rubber in the road in various spots. So.
Yeah, it's all over the place.
Yeah. Also, in the news, I guess, we're in the news and what's been happening. Rates, there's a lot of buzz about rates coming down.
Every headline is rates are coming down. Rates are coming down. Looks like we've eased inflation. Fed says we're doing good. Can we have new rates?
Yeah. And so our market numbers, which we're going to get in today's show, is our market update. So we're going to talk about June's numbers, and we're going to see there's been a decline in sales.
There has.
A pretty large decline. And
I was shocked at that. I'm not shocked. I mean, we do numbers every week. We have a very good understanding of numbers, but it's just weird that here we are. Well, July, it slows.
I felt it last month. I felt the slowdown as we were in it. I was like, whoa, things are ticking down, and they were ticking down pretty quickly. And the inventory was going up week over week. So I was like,
we say, if you're a listener to the show all the time, that 4th of July is like a hard stop, like a pause on real estate. Yeah. So, and that's happening in a heat wave. I had so many people, especially people who aren't from Vegas or used to it, cancel and reschedule because of the heat. They're like, 118, we're good. We're not going to look at a house.
Not only who wants to go show houses in this heat, but also like when you get in a house and they don't have the AC running because they're trying to save on energy.
Yep.
Like talk about make your house not appealing.
Yeah, no, if you want to sell a house in Vegas in the summer, drop your AC down as low as the gains on your AC can handle, and people walk into a cold house and they're like, oh, I love this house.
Get those endorphins running when they walk in the door.
Whether they like the house or not, they're relieved. They're like, yes, we'll take that. This is the house.
Nice and cool, yeah.
Same thing with pools, right? This time of year, people who weren't even looking for a pool are now considering it for a month or two.
Absolutely. It does stuff to your brain, I'm telling you. We got drafts yesterday for new forms released by LVR, and they're still in the works. They're drafts, but it's implementing the new rules with NAR.
Yep.
I was reviewing over the forums. I am pleasantly surprised. Well, not surprised. I guess no surprise at all. They lay out everything exactly as I was hoping they would.
Yeah.
So
the forms are pretty. I mean, they've had, just so you know, LVR has had lawyers all over the country and everybody looking at these forms to make sure they're right, so the consumers are protected. And yeah, they're pretty thorough.
They're pretty thorough. In my opinion, they're great. They make it very self-explanatory on all the new rules going into effect. And one of the things that that I was hoping would be reflected in the forms, which absolutely is we're no longer going to listing appointments and negotiating both sides of commission. It's going to be solely up to the buyer's agents. And that's going to be reflected on our listing agreements. And, obviously we have to give information. We have to let the sellers know what to expect. We don't want them to first hear about that when they see it on the offer.
For all of you to pay their buyer's agent. It's fine.
Set expectations, of course, but they're great. I think they're very great. I think they're very thorough. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that. I've read a little bit about the sellers in the NAR litigation are saying that it's not enough.
Oh, they're saying thanks, but we're not taking it.
Thanks, but we're not taking it, or like the settlement's not enough. I just feel like they don't understand how a class action lawsuit works. Like their lawyers got a lot of money.
33% or something? 40%? I don't know.
Lawyers got a big chunk of that.
All of the real estate memes going around talking about, and they're coming after our commission. We're 3%. These lawyers are getting 33%.
And we're whatever. It's always been negotiable. They're different prices. Some are 3, some are 2, some are 2.5. They're all across the board.
Some are 5, some are 1, some are none.
Yeah, but the lawyers have that, set percentage. And they took their chunk of this large settlement, and when the sellers seen what they were getting paid, they're like, wait, what what happened?
This isn't even a down payment on a house.
So I wonder when I feel like the lawyers, the litigious society that we live in, when is this gonna stop? It's getting out of control.
Yeah,
it is getting out of control. So that was another thing. Home warranty companies. Wanted to go a little bit into that. I spent, oh my gosh, and I'm not throwing out names here or anything like that, but one thing that I do, because when we sell homes, we sell warranty plans.
I don't know that we don't sell warranty plans, but on the contract there is a space for a home warranty, and then you get the option to decide, like, you want to ask the seller to pay it, you want to pay it, do you want to skip it all together?
Yeah.
So the buyer will have the option to get a home warranty right there in the contract.
Yeah. And I think it's a very smart move. I am an advocate, and I do believe that warranties can be helpful. They're not perfect.
No, they're not perfect, right?
Yeah.
But they do, especially if you're sort of have a hard time saving like a nest egg to the side or anything like that for home repairs.
Yeah.
They will cover to some degree the depreciating value of the appliances set in place. And if you need an AC, and let's say your AC is on the roof, then there's certain plans that will include the crane, because that's a big expense when getting a new AC. So they definitely serve a purpose.
Yeah. And
Was that politically correct without saying I don't like home warranties?
No, but we get asked a lot about them. What company do you recommend, or what's your experience, or whatever. So I don't like to recommend anything unless unless it's a true recommendation.
Right.
So one thing I do, I have a couple properties. One thing I do is I've tried a lot of home warranty companies.
Yeah, I've tried a few.
And I, good things and bad things about basically all of them. But when someone asks me for a recommendation, I base it on my own experience. So it's not really a recommendation. It's just, my experience with this doesn't mean that your experience is going to be the same, but my experience with this company has been this, or my experience with this company has been this, which I feel like is a very good way to handle that situation or the recommendation. Because, of course, company screws up and does somebody, does a horrible customer service to someone. They might have treated you good, but that doesn't,
mean that they're going to treat me good.
Yeah. So, it's not, I wouldn't really call it a recommendation. I just call it like an attestment from my experience.
Okay.
Right? Oh my gosh. During this last week, a week, why would you ever have to spend a week
But we don't even know what you're talking about yet. Tell us.
On a warranty issue.
Okay.
So like it was like a warranty
I had
claim.
one that I did 3 months with. So go ahead. Tell me your story.
I spent, I think, a combined of 8 hours on hold with this particular company. It was insane. And the thing that it left me in the end, obviously a bad experience, what I would call a bad experience, but just awful customer service, and just had me just really thinking about that. Like, why is it acceptable for, and I'm not just saying home warranty companies, for any companies, for these big corporations to provide such horrible service, such horrible experience, to say, go ahead and give us your money and we are going to treat you like crap. Like, why is that okay? It's not.
That's a red flag.
Yeah. And then you ask for help, I was like, let me just speak to someone above this person, and I'm talking to someone, it's a little higher up, I guess, management, whatever. I don't know what you would call them. And, I'm just like, wow, this isn't, this person I spoke to said this or said that. And she says, well, we have 500 agents. That doesn't make a difference. And I'm like, what? But so no one's held accountable for anything.
Well, look, customer service is hard to hold accountable anyway. You have standards, say, a certain tagline you have to say when you answer the phone or what have you, but they're always working within the parameters of the corporate guideline of what that company is willing to offer. And they can't say that's going to cost us money, so we're not going to do that for you. So then you feel like you're running on a hamster wheel trying to get anything done.
Right. And I see the purpose of a home warranty is, in my opinion, it's so that you don't have to deal with the hassle of, something broke down. I don't want to have to search and find people to fix this.
Right.
I want to make this call. They handle it. They send out their person. They handle the what's covered and what's not covered and everything. Well,
right.
I in a couple experiences I've had so far, I've had to not only find my own contractor because they don't have somebody available in the area, or the person isn't available in the area for a month or something. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's you have to do this, do all the legwork yourself. And then you're the contractors that you had to find is saying hey, this is the problem. And they're like, well, no, I think this or I think that, they're on the other end, not looking at it. It's not their people. And they're scrutinizing whatever and just finding ways. It's horrible.
So you had a bad experience.
I had a very bad experience.
I had not a great experience too with a home warranty. And on the flip side, I've had good experiences. In my opinion, as far as home warranty goes, the best experience that you could have.
Right.
And I've also had some bad ones. I had a dishwasher issue once, and it took them 5 or 6 times to come out, and it was, I think, $85 or $89 each time to come out to rectify the situation. And it was more like putting Band-Aid, putting Band-Aid, putting Band-Aid, putting Band-Aid. And I was like, you just need to replace this thing. And then with the depreciation of the dishwasher, then they wanted to offer me a gift card from a big box store. And it wasn't even a quarter of what an actual, a basic dishwasher would be. And I'm like, you've got all of these service calls and now you're just giving me $150 or $200 to go towards a dishwasher. Why did I even bother? All the money that I spent already, I could have just bought a dishwasher.
Yeah, and that's kind of the same deal they gave me, but it was on an AC that
right.
It just needed a replacement.
Yeah, well, I know a good AC guy.
I know a good AC guy, but he doesn't work in that area.
Oh, okay.
So he wasn't, it's out of town, out of Las Vegas. So he's in Pahrump. He doesn't service Pahrump.
Oh.
But hey, shout out, guys, because it is summer and it is hot.
Yeah.
Wave AC is amazing.
Wave AC did great by me too.
Yeah, talk about they're somebody I would recommend because it's a family-owned business.
Yep, locally owned. They've been in it for years. They have great communication. Their systems are set up. You get calls and texts that they're arriving, what time they're going to be there. They know exactly what they're doing. You referred them to me when my AC went out, and I love them.
Yeah, no, I have used them so many times. They're the only people I will call
I've already
for Vegas.
referred them twice now to people, and this was just, it wasn't even a month ago that I used them for my AC.
Yeah, they're the only people I would refer in Vegas because not only do they do a great job and they're thorough and they make sure it's done right, but when you call, I am so pleased when I actually get someone on the other line that cares about the issue, that understands what you're going through, and will do everything in their power to help.
Yeah, so the night after the Top 25, when you were honored for Top 25 Women in Real Estate, that night when I got home, it was warm in my house, and I thought, oh, maybe I just jacked the AC up, because I do turn the AC up when I'm not around. So I turned it back down, but by the middle of the night, it was hot, and early morning, I was thinking, who's a morning person? Trish is. Trish, who's your AC guy? Because I had called and texted a couple AC places, and because it was a Sunday morning, I didn't hear back from them.
Yeah.
And I was like,
normal.
That's terrible. Yeah. And then I think about people who have like disabilities or handicap, or for them to have to be in a situation where it's hot and uncomfortable in this valley and not get phone calls back. That's unresponsive. Anyway, you sent me the number. I had a few different people send me some contact information after the people I normally use had failed. And Wave AC was the only one that answered the phone.
Yeah.
And I was like, sold, come fix my AC.
Yeah, they are a great company. They definitely have my recommendation.
So Raluca, we're sending it out to you.
Yes, Raluca, good job. She does the customer service. It's a family-owned business, so she's the person that answers the phones over there and coordinates everything. So numbers for this week. What are we looking at?
Okay, I'll pull them up because
I didn't take them down this morning.
You didn't write them down? Here,
yeah.
We'll both look at the screen.
Oh, okay.
All right, so today's single family active residents, we've passed that 4,000 mark again. So 4,097 active homes in the valley this week.
Yes, and our solds
are
dropped,
sad,
guys. They dropped.
I don't know what happened last week.
I was looking at
the first of the month. Excuse is that we're going to do 4th of July.
4th of July, first
holiday.
of the month, election season. We got the perfect storm here.
It's like a trifecta.
You know, they have the little chart with the lines, and the charts are such a great visual. I looked at the chart, and it was like down.
Yeah, but I mean, down. It's 303, so it's not like it's 100. We're being a little dramatic on our end, but yeah, it is down 303, and it is the first of the month. It is the holiday season. Nobody had a lot of closings around the 4th of July, and places were closed. So that's what I'm going to chalk that up to.
Okay. And title companies were closed 4th of July and Friday.
Yep.
Yeah. So closings can't happen if the title company's closed.
Yeah, it's impossible.
It is impossible. And then we have price reductions at 526.
We do, which those ticked up.
Yeah. Under contracts, a little bit lower than they were last week. 511.
511.
Yeah. So we are seeing a decline, and getting into June's numbers, it shows that very clearly.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. So we're going to start, and so the numbers we just went over are for the last week in Las Vegas. But now we're going to do all of June, because this is our monthly market update that we do when those numbers come out. So that way we know the health of the community.
Yes. So let's start with single family units.
All right.
Over June, they were down almost 9%.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. That's a big chunk.
That is a lot. There was a 2,093 single-family homes sold. 8.7% down.
Median house price is still holding strong, though.
I know. It just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah. So again, that, you can look at the reduction in sales, but you got to look at that number. You can't ignore that number. So that one is up almost 8% at 475.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's holding strong.
Yep.
And then in the median price new listings, that's up 7.3% at 509.
Yeah.
9. That's
5099. So they're listing a little bit higher than they're selling, which I'm seeing a lot.
Yeah. Those are the price reductions, right?
Yeah. Right.
526 of them.
Yeah. New listings. We seen inventory scoop up this last month. So we have 7.7, almost 8% new inventory.
Yep.
And then those units available, they hit over 4,000.
Yep, 4,114 units available, jacking that up 11.8%.
Yeah, but that puts us at 2 months of effective availability. That's up 22.5%. That's
right.
Big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we've always been like, we've got less than 2 months of effective availability.
Yeah.
Now we've got 2 actual months. So yay us.
Yeah, but they say we're not officially in a buyer's market till it hits 3 months.
Right.
So we still got some wiggle room there, guys. But
we do have some wiggle room, but I don't want the inventory to shoot up if houses aren't moving. But maybe with all this talk of interest rates lowering, I have seen some interest rates in new builds. They're going back, like they were pretty standard for about, 3 or 4 months. It's been new construction has been like, hey, we'll give you a 4.99 or a 5.5 rate or whatever. And this week I started to see the adjustable rates coming back in.
Yeah, first year 1.99.
Yep,
you know who we're talking about.
Yeah, 1.99, and then the second year was like 2.99, and then 3.99, and then it goes up to like the 5.99. But
yeah, so those are like the 3-1 buy down. So the builders are offering those with rates. Rates have come down slightly. So, but even that little bit has given them more room to work out those great deals on those 3-1 buy downs. So builders are offering them. Builders are doing price cuts. Wow.
Builders are doing anything right now because
taking offers.
Right. They're taking offers. They're doing price cuts. They're offering incentives. They're paying for closing costs. They're doing rate buy downs or whatever they need to do to make anything happen in this environment.
Yeah, so we see. I always say that what the builders are doing is a good indicator of what the market is because they have more inventory than each homeowner does.
Right. Yeah, that's a fact.
That is a fact.
It's just how it works when you're a builder.
Yeah. Condos and townhouse units. Those also took a decline.
Those are down.
Yeah. Units sold 605. It's not as big of a reduction. They're down 6.3%, but still, they're down. But that median price range still up.
The median price range is still up. It's at $295 for the average condo townhome in Vegas. Now they're taking the listings lower. Median price range for taking those listings is $290. Mm-hmm. So they're selling for more than what they're listing for. They're up 7.3% in the sales price. The units sold are down, and the new listings are up almost 12%.
Yeah.
828 new listings in condo townhomes.
Yeah, and then the units available. Oh my!
That sucker shot up. It almost doubled.
It did.
It almost doubled.
It's
you
up
guys,
almost 50%.
Yeah, it's up 47%. How many units we got available?
1367.
Yep, which gives us like 2.3 months of availability stock in the condo market.
And that's up over 50%.
Yeah,
57%.
That was a big spike.
Big spike.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're feeling the heat, guys. We're feeling it here. But
literally
again,
and figuratively.
Yeah, is a good rule of thumb. What you do have to remember, is don't kind of let them numbers be freaked out or freak you out. There's opportunity in a market like this.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's been some great deals that we've put together in the past few months where you're getting good closing or rate buy downs or contributions, or even in new construction, great deals can happen.
Yeah. And I've seen a lot of sellers just say like, hey, send an offer. What's your offer? I'm willing to see what you're willing to pay.
And every list agent is like, so we're going to get an offer. My clients are motivated. Would a flooring credit work? And if you didn't like, what didn't you like about the home? Oh, we can fix that.
Yeah. Take advantage of a bad situation, guys, because
very motivated out there.
It is those times. You do not get those killer deals in a hot market.
No.
And it doesn't happen.
Right.
It
doesn't happen. They're fewer and far between. I was talking to one of my investors the other day, and they're like, I know it's impossible, but I just want a miracle or a unicorn, Tiana. And I'm like, you and everybody else. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, but it's okay. I mean, this is the market for it. I've seen a house. I had someone that sent me a house that was, I think it was $100,000 over their budget.
They're like, I know this house is $900,000, but I still think we should offer $650.
Yeah, I know, but they, they were like, hey, I know it's a little up. Maybe I can come up with a little bit more. Maybe this, but like, what do you think? Is this insane? And I was like, I don't think anything is insane in this market. Let's shoot them an offer and see what they say. They didn't bite.
Oh, I got all excited there for a minute. I thought we had a unicorn.
No, they didn't bite. But that doesn't mean that there's not sellers out there that will on that opportunity. If they have the right type of motivation, then this is the market for it.
Yeah.
On that particular one, we're still going back and forth a little bit. So
at least you're playing the game.
Yeah, we're playing ball. They didn't say yes, but we have a little bit of back and forth, and maybe something will come out of it, maybe not. But this is the market to try out those situations.
Yeah. This is a try anything market.
Shoot
for the stars.
What do you
shoot
want?
for the moon. You might get a star.
Fill your dream board right now. So, So what else do we have? 30 days on the market. Selling less than 30 days on the market.
So this is a conversation I have been having for months because we have so many people who are interested in buying in Vegas, coming in and investing and what have you. They just don't understand how fast our market moves. And so these 0 to 30 days, where over 70% of the homes that go on the market are gone within that 0 to 30 days.
Yeah.
That is quick moving.
It is quick moving. We're used to it because we see that often here.
Right, because that's the business we do. But can you imagine, like, if we picked up and moved to, I don't know, Nebraska or Iowa or something, and it would be like, oh, this house has been on the market 127 days. I would all of a sudden get the buyer mindset and go, what's wrong with the house?
Yeah, of course, right?
It's not the house, it's just the market.
Yeah, we're used to seeing that that here. And then 60 days, up to 60 days, where we've got a little bit more there at 15.3%.
Right.
Yeah.
But the majority of the homes, for sure, 0 to 60, then you have almost the entire allotment of homes.
Correct. Hitting that 90-day breach, we have 6.5%.
Which is nothing. Even less than that, 90 to 120 is 3%.
Yeah, and then taking more than
121 days.
121 days, more than 20 days would be awesome. No, 121
that's that 72% that's selling.
Yeah.
But less than 15% of the homes in our valley are selling over that 90-day mark.
Yeah.
Everything else is going quick.
Yep, and the same stays pretty consistent when we're looking at condos and townhomes.
Yep.
61.5% under 30 days, 21.5. Yeah, 21.5
for the 60 days.
Up to 60, and then 3.1% up to 120, and 121 plus 4.3%. That's a little bit higher.
Yep. And then the 60 to 90, you skipped over that. We got 9.6% of the houses sold. So just about 10% of condos and townhomes in that 60 to 90 days.
Yeah. So overall, again, I think we discussed this. I know we discussed this so many times on the show.
We talk about it all the time.
This is the season. This happens. It's nothing like. No one should be shocked at any of the activity or anything that's going on right now. This is completely traditional for this time of year.
Yeah, and even on this information, if you go back, like even the units sold, like we're 0 to 30 at 71.6% of single family homes, but June of 2023 was 65.5%. Mm-hmm. So we're even up a little.
Yeah. So overall, one thing that I guess your biggest takeaway from this that I think people should look at is that median price of units sold is still holding strong.
Yeah.
However, I don't know why that's not reflected on these market reports. I think it should be. I'd like to see, or I would assume those median price homes are holding strong. The number of units sold and everything. However, I'd like to see how much of those have concessions, because I would say that
they don't break it down like that.
Yeah, there's probably a big chunk of those sold at a healthy price, but with concessions.
Yeah, that's stuff that makes a difference, especially in an appraisal process when they're appraising a house. If those concessions are made, that's not readily available on these forms. We'd have to go into like the MLS and do the research ourselves. Do you want me to do that next month?
Those are property by property, so that would take a lot of research.
I made the stupid comment to a friend the other day in the parking lot. I was like, just send me the link. I don't do the research. And she looked at me and I started laughing. I was like, oh, you're right. I'm a fall into a rabbit hole and do research kind of girl.
But I would say a lot of those sold with concessions. Probably, I would imagine that number. We don't always track that, or we don't track that number. But I would imagine that number has jumped substantially.
Yeah, a lot more concessions seen this year than last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely have to agree with that. But 0.0 or 0.4% up in our medium home price range is a 0.7% growth from last year at this time.
Yep.
In our price.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
We're growing. I love it.
Yes, and Fed is meeting on July 31st.
That's what they keep threatening.
And let's see what they do. Let's see if they're looking at these market numbers. Because one more thing before we exit, is nationwide. We're staying pretty a lot healthier than other markets are.
Yeah, and which I love, because usually Vegas takes the hit first, right?
Yeah.
And we did not this time.
No.
And we're staying pretty consistent and pretty level, which is exciting.
Yeah, we're holding pretty strong in comparison to what's happening around the nation. So.
Right, and I want to say that's because there's so much growth that is just happening in our state as a whole.
Yeah, Vegas is a magnet right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're localized down to southern Nevada, but the state as a whole has got so many big projects, so many international companies. Just like 5 new companies were announced last month coming into Nevada internationally to help with like the Bright Line, and to help with we got I think it was $21 million grant in UNR to help them with a electric battery development technology in the school to create that pipeline, since we have the Tesla manufacturer up there.
Yeah.
So all sorts of stuff is happening in the state, which is keeping us healthy. We got money coming in, and we got a good economy. Yay!
And I do think that the part of the slowdown that we always see around summertime, July, everything, is like if you're moving here from another state, no one wants to visit Vegas in July.
Yeah. July and August, they're like, oh.
Yeah, they're like, let's wait till it cools down there a little bit.
I always say, talk to me at the first snowfall. Tell me what you think about that, because we're not going to have that here.
Yeah.
We're going to be 65 at Christmas, so that sounds good to me.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, if you are watching our show, you like our content, you are tuning in to what we got to say, please continue to do so. Go to our link tree that is at realtycheck.vegas.
Realtycheck.vegas. All the information, how you can contact us there. Join our community. We're here every Thursday talking about what's going on in the Vegas real estate market. So make sure you like, share, subscribe. Join us again, and we'll be here next week.
Yes, thank you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys. Have a good week.